Hello everyone, you're welcome. This is Kingsley from KingspetDesigns. If you're just joining me for the first time, please ensure you subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit on the notification bell so that you get notified each time I upload new video. In today's tutorial, we'll be looking at responsive web design, and if you actually follow this course, I'm going to be walking you through how to create a very responsive website. So we'll be building upon the website we've been working on previously, and I'm going to be showing you how to turn that particular website into a responsive website. Now, before we go into that, let's look at some things here. Now, let's now come to what we want. If I should ask now, what is a responsive web design? When you now think of responsive web design, what first of all comes to your mind is this. Now you can see we have our website. This is our website. Let's say this is the website. Now your website needs to be very responsive. You can see we have both the tablet view, we have the tablet view, the mobile view, the desktop view, even how it looks like on laptop. You can see we have all this design already laid out for us. Now let's now look at something now. Responsive design or responsive web design is simply a website that adjusts gracefully or adjusts automatically to fit on both tablet, desktop, smartphone, whatever device you are using. Now no matter what device the user actually uses to access your website, you will see that if your website is actually responsive, it's going to give the user a very good experience while using your website. Now let's now look at why do your website actually needs to be responsive, because if you actually know the reason why your website needs to be responsive, then you actually know how to be working into creating a responsive web design. Now let's now consider some points. Now we have responsive web design is actually expected by customers and as well as your Google. Now Google in such a way that what I refer by Google here in general, I use Google actually, but in every search engine, for your website to be able to work very well on search or to show up very well on search engine, your website has to be mobile responsive. Customers expect your website to show on any device they are using. If you aren't what they expect, they will go elsewhere. Now if a web customer comes into your website and what they actually seeing, the look they are actually seeing on your website is not actually a look that is inviting to them, you will tend to see that they will easily go out of your website and look for somewhere else. Now it also helps in search engine optimization, that's in SEO. Mobile friendly websites ranks higher. That is what I was talking. It ranks higher, it does better when it comes to search engines. It makes your website to come up when it is being searched. Now you can see that because if you check most of the time, most people, as at this present age we are right now, people tend to search the website more using the things like smartphones, tablets, or the smart. So if your website is not smartphone friendly, you can see that you are actually going to be losing a lot of potential clients and customers. Now when you have a responsive web design, it makes your customer happier. Now your website will look great and function well on any device and screen size. You can see from smartphone, tablets, your website is actually going to work. So to whatever device your customers uses to access your website, you can see that they will be very happy using with the user experience they are actually going to be seeing. Now it also helps to build credibility. Now when we are talking about credibility, it is not only the online, both offline as well. You can see people make mental notes on the website. they had a good experience with, and also take notes of those kind of those websites where they have a bad experience with. So you would not want to be among those kind of websites that actually they will have a bad experience about. So you always need to give your customers a good reputation of your website. So giving them a very good responsive design is actually a very good way of maintaining your site's credibility. Now also, it is very easy to manage. Imagine having a separate website for a desktop version of your website, and also having a different website also having the mobile. Is actually very difficult to manage the two websites at a time. But you can see that when you have a particular website that is very responsive, that can be able to display both on tablet and also on desktop, any smartphone you are actually using, you can see that it's going to make everything very easy to manage, because you are, instead of trying to manage two websites, you are actually managing just one. So now, enough of the talk, let's go straight into our dashboard, and let me show you how we are going to be transforming the website we've been building on into a responsive website. Here is it. We are back to our dashboard. Now if you actually let me show you something now. If you check at this website now, you can see the tablet view, how it looks like. You can see some places it's not actually looking very well. It's not looking too fine like that too nice on our tablet view. Now coming to just look at the way this place is. Now what about the mobile view? You can see that is even the worst. If you check now, let's see how it actually looks like. So I'm going to be walking you through how to actually work on your website to have a good mobile and tablet experience. Now our desktop view was actually okay, so now let's go work on the tablet view now. So what you are going to just ensure, if you are using Elementor as I'm using, actually you can just come over here. It's going to be like this. So just come over here and switch to your tablet view. So when you switch to your tablet view, this is what you'll be having. Now it's just for us to do some little adjustments to this. So now let me just click on this. So now I am going to now come to where I have this. Then you click on this side. Now if you click here, one thing you should note now is any particular section of your website that is going to be mobile responsive, you will tend to see the icons here. You can see from here I have mobile. So if I should make any changes to this, it's only going to affect the tablet view. I don't know if you get me. Now if I should click here, I can switch either to mobile or desktop view. So we are actually on tablet view. So now on the tablet view, let me try to see how to reduce this. Let me say 14 was too small. Let me try 20 and see. Let me see 20. It's also still small. Let me see 25 or 30. Let me make use of 30. 30 I think is okay. Then now on this one too, I'm going to actually reduce it to something smaller also. Let me try take the same 30 and see if it's okay for me. So okay, I think the 30 is also okay for me over here. So now on this side now is going to make this place a little bit smaller. So I'm going to come here, let me say 25 on this and see how it goes. Sorry, it's actually loading. 25, I think 25 is still big. Let me make use of 20. I think 20 is okay. So now on this line now, you can see on this line, I don't want the line is looking too long. So you can just come over here and reduce the width of the line. So I think something like this should be okay for me. So these buttons, I think they are okay the way they are for the buttons. But the only thing I want to adjust now is the spacing. This place looks as in from the space up here, as in this particular section is actually looking to me too big, so I'm going to reduce it a little. So to do that, I'll just right click on this side and edit section. So once I click on that, I'm going to, on this side you can see that it's actually editable. So now I'm going to click here and now insert the size I want. Let me say 300. I think 300 is okay for me here. Yeah, 300 is okay. So I'm going to leave it as 300. So I'm going to now come down here and also try to adjust these ones here. So I'm going to adjust these ones also. Now from this side I'm having, okay, let me work on this side. I think this is where more of the adjustment is. So I'm going to now come over here and remove, I think it was the padding that is responsible. You can see it's actually the padding that I added here. So now I'm going to now make use of a little padding on it. So I'm going to on the top and I think that should be okay. Then but on the left and right, let me increase this side to something like, let me say 50 on this side and 50 on this side. So I think this is okay for me. Then come over here also, just look at how your work goes. Now on this one I'm going to reduce it. Also come here, I'm going to reduce this side to, let me say 25. Yeah, I think 25 is okay. Then I'm going to do something. I want to make my work faster, so I'm going to copy this and paste it to this. Now I'm going to paste style, not paste. I'm going to paste the style. You can see when I paste the style, it's actually picked from there and just pasted it over to this side. So on this one too, I might, the text I feel is too big, so let me see how to reduce the size of the text. So let me see something like 14. Okay, I think 14 is okay. So now I'm going to come over to this side also. All the whole text in this side, I'm going to make it 14 also, so that they will be uniform. 14. Then copy it on this one. I'm going to paste style on, also on this I'm going to paste the style on this. So on this one I'm going to reduce it also to something like, let me say 16 and see, yeah, 16 should be okay. Copy, then I'm going to paste the style and also here paste the style on this one too. Then I'm going to now, I think the images I'll leave them the way they are. This side, let me reduce this size of the button. So come here, I'm going to, on the topography of the button, I'm going to reduce it. So let me say something 14 and see, I think 15, let me make use of 15. So I'm going to copy the same style, I'm going to copy it and paste the same style to it since it's the same button. So now I'm going to now come over to this side now. On this one, remember I said I'm going to make them uniform text for the body text, so I'm going to make here to 14. Then see, as I'm working, you can be actually see previewing to see how it looks like. You can see it's having much more a better look right now. So let me go ahead. I think the images are okay with the way it is. If you don't like the way the padding is, you can actually increase your padding, but I'm okay with mine. So on this side, remember I want to copy this, copy and just paste my style here. Now on this side I'm going to increase this side. Okay, remove the padding here and let me just say I'm adding, if I want to add it, so I'm adding it 10 padding from each side, or let me make it 20. So let me see how it looks like. I need more space at this top so that it's going to look better. So I'm going to, on the top side of this other one, I'm going to click on it and add a top. Can add either a top margin or let me add padding at the top. Let me make it top padding. Let me say 30 and see. Okay, now let me bring this other one closer. Let me come here on its own. I'm going to unlink and make the top 0, so it goes a little bit to the top. Now I'm actually done with this mobile tablet view of this particular website. You can see it's now having a better look on the tablet view. So now let's try to work on the mobile view now. I'm going to click here and switch back to mobile view. So I'm going to switch to mobile, so we now see how it actually looks like on mobile. I think right now the mobile version is actually a little bit coming back to life, just that I need to adjust some things. So this is what I'm going to, okay, you can see my button over here, they are scattered, everything looking scattered. So I'm actually going to do some little work on my mobile view. So now on the mobile view, now I'm going to click here and reduce the size of the text to something smaller also. So I'm going to maybe make use of 25 and see 25 was too big, it's too, okay, 20. Then on this side too, I'm going to make use of, on this side, let me make use of something like, let me see how the 20 goes. 20, I think, let me still make use of 20. Then on this side, I'm going to make use of something smaller. So I'm going to make use of something like, let me say 16 and see, or 14. I think let me leave it as 15. So now I'm going to, now on the button, now we are going to play around with the button. Now on this side, remember it actually, this button is actually flows to this side. I'm going to make it now flows. You can see it's actually having the alignment here is responsive. So I'm going to now click on it. Anyone that is not responsive, if you touch it, it's going to actually affect the whole design on the 3 of them. So I'm going to ensure I avoid touching anyone that is not responsive. So this one, I think I'm okay with the button. Let me see something here. Let me come to my style and see if I can reduce the size of the text on it. So I'm going to come over here and see how 12 look like, or 12. I think 12 is okay to me. I'm going to copy this and apply, paste the same style on this one. So now I'm going to now come, you can see because I pasted the same style, you can see it's not having the same color. Initially it was having on this because of they were two different, so I can just work on this, come here and change how this actually on the hover. Now on this active, I'm going to return it back to green, and also on the hover I'm going to make it red. Remember the hover was actually red, so I'm going to return it back to red, so it actually becomes normal. So this is what we now have. Okay, now I'm now going to come over to this particular section and also try to work on this side. I'm going to remove the padding for this side and now link it back again, then add, let me say 20, I think 20 should be okay, 20% padding to this. I should click here and come over to this side. Now if I should come here, you can see this side, I can't make this side responsive because it's not showing me any. So now let me try on this side now and see if I can, okay, this side is responsive. Let me see if I can turn this. No, I think leaving it this way might actually, or you can just, no, I'll leave it at center. So this is how I'm going to leave it. Some on this one now I'm going to reduce the size of the text. So I'm going to come here over here and also reduce the size of the text. Let me say something like 16, or let me make it 18 so that easy. Now I'm going to copy it, copy the style and paste to this also, so that, sorry, remember I did paste, I'm supposed to paste style. So I'm going to click on it and go back to where I have share this side and paste the style to this one. So I'm going to come over to this. Remember I have one here, I want to also still repeat the same style, paste style to this one. So I'm going to now come to this side where I have my charity. Okay, on this side, let me work on this. Now I'm going to remove all the row padding on this side. I'm going to make it to good. Now on this one, click on this, then remove every padding on it. Now I'm going to add just a little. If I want to add at all, I'm going to add, let's say 10 on each side. So I'm going to copy on this side. Remember on this side, I'm going to copy it, then paste it, paste the style, and also on this side I'm going to paste the style. So I now have this like this. Let me preview and see. This is how it is. I use places to increase the size a little. Now on this side, now I'm going to click on here and come over here and remove the padding on this side. You can see how it goes through. So I'm going to add spacing on top, and let me see space downward. So let me see how it looks like now. I think it's a bit okay this way now. So you can just see okay. Now on this side, let me say on the text, you can actually, but to me I'm actually okay with the size of the text right now. I'm okay with it. So maybe this, so that it won't look the same like the one up here. So let me say I'm using 14 for 8 15. Let me make it a 14. 14. Let me copy it and paste it to the rest of them. Paste style, paste style. So I'm done with this side. When I'm over to this side, you can see on this side now is actually we have the image coming first, then before the description of it. I can decide to leave it this way. So I'm deleting on this side. I'm going to click here and come over here and remove the padding so that it becomes a little bit bigger on that side. Then on the text also, come here. You can see the text is as if it's also having its own padding. So you can remove a little from the text. And let me just make it 10. Let me make it 10. So let me preview how this side looks like. I think it's okay. I'm okay with it like this. So you can just see how you can play along with your website, how you want it to look like. Now on this one, now I'm going to click here and see how to remove the padding on every side. Now see, let me reduce the size of the icon. They're looking too big to me. Then on the icons, I'm going to come here on the icon, the size, I'm going to reduce it. Let me make it of 35. So now I'm going to on the icon, then on the text, that's the content. On the content, I'm going to make it 14. Let's see. Yeah, I think 14 is okay. So now let me copy the whole of this side and paste them to the style to these ones. You can see it will automatically adjust. So it saves me time of doing each and every one of them separately. That is just how our responsive design actually. So you can now see we now have a better look on this particular side. So you can see everything is now actually responsive when you okay, let me scroll from up so that you see how it looks like from up. You can see how our website is now totally responsive. You can see how they look like now. So on mobile, if your viewers is viewing from mobile view, this is, you might come up with something like this. You can see it's actually looking a bit okay, or it's actually looking okay this way. Then when it's now on mobile, they are viewing it at your website using a tablet. This is actually how they are going to actually see your website. You'll see it has tablet view. So each of the views, you can see, okay, I did something here. So I remember I copied so it actually affected this one also. So I'm going to, I forgot to actually, so on this one now I'm going to return it back to this side. So it's actually okay right now. So if you're still watching this video and you have not yet considered subscribing to my channel, please hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified each time I upload new videos. This is how our website is going to. So you can see from the 3 different devices I'm actually working using here, is actually having 3 different views. So now we'll actually be looking at something else on our next tutorial, where I'm going to be showing you something else separately from what we just did today. You can see today we actually achieved turning our website we've been creating all those while. I purposely refused to make it responsive at first, so that I will be able to show you later on how you can actually make your website responsive and tell you why you actually need to make it responsive. So I believe you might have learned a lot from this particular tutorial. If you have any question or any difficulty anywhere, you can actually drop in the comment box below. I'll try my best to see how to answer. And if you have any video idea of which you want me to work on, you can also do the same thing, drop in the comment box below. Until next time, this is where I'm going to stop. Bye for now.
Just